Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. I am back. Have some time to do a few more Battle Royale streams, so I will start firing one up as soon as I can figure out how to get off this welcome screen. So here we go. As you see, done about 56 of these so far, and hopefully can get. The goal is to get near 100. I don't think I have it. I don't think I'm going to be able to max it this week, but that's okay. So, oh God. Okay, I'm going to try to share this with some people and see if we can't get some viewers in here. So, give me 1 second, just tweeting out the link, and we'll get the get some music going. And all right, we've got a viewer. This is already going better than the last time. So welcome, dear viewer. Here we go. Got the background music going. 2 viewers. This is the most concurrence ever. So this is very exciting stuff. Thank you for joining out there. Got the 3 spot, which frankly isn't my favorite position. I think there's a pretty good gap between CMC A-Chain and then getting to the Henry Jefferson range. And I also think when you're at 6, 7, you have the chance to stack 2 elite running backs like Kamara, Kyron, Bijan, Gibbs. You can take 2 of those pretty much every time. And you have the chance of one of the elite players falling to you. Whereas at 3, I'm not huge on Henry this week, so I'm okay skipping that. And Jefferson, Jefferson is head and shoulders better than the other wide receivers this week. I think Tennessee's had a few injuries to their secondary, so it's not as bad of a matchup as it could be. But it is a little tough to pay for Jefferson here, but don't want to do a full fade. I think he makes sense. And frankly, I don't have a ton of Jefferson in the BR so far. Are we winning? Bowser, thank you for joining. I'm going to be honest with you, Bowser. If it goes anything like the last 3 weeks, no. But it is a new week. I'm feeling pretty good about the slate. Have a lot of Bo, Nick, Sutton teams, which frankly I feel like is kind of the answer. And you can get that if you want it at 4 or 5 pretty much every time. So my plan is to build a ton of Nicks, Sutton stacks and just hope that's what you need. If it's not what you need, I'm going to have another crappy week. But that's just a game environment I really like this week. So are we winning? You know what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to change my answer to an affirmative, and let's see how we do. Nothing too crazy so far. Again, you see this 6, 7. This is so common to see this Kamara Williams start. This is going to be very highly owned to the point where when I'm at that 6, 7, I'm trying to get different because you're going to be 4v4 with quite a bit. So, all right, Amon Ra, who one of those last elite receivers. Personally, I feel like after Pickens, it gets pretty wonky at wide receiver. Puka's great, Pickens is great, and then Hill's dealing with this wrist thing. Debo, the vibes are off. Kupp, he's getting there, but just doesn't feel quite as reliable. So where I'm at, I kind of want one of these elite receivers. I already have Justin Jefferson. I don't have a ton of teams where I have 2 scroll down running backs, but I think the scroll down running backs this week are quite strong. Part of me wanted to take Gibbs there, but I think Jefferson Gibbs going to be somewhat common. I think I have a few Gibbs with my Jefferson build, so I kind of want to get different. But I like this double elite receiver start. And it forces me to get different because I have so many Knicks. I have so many Knicks Sutton teams that I'm probably not going to do that because better than 3 wide receivers are your flex options here. So coming back around, Josh Allen, I think that's fine. Being I've already taken 2 receivers, I'd probably, if I want, you don't need to stack Allen. You can take Knox basically every time you want. He's not getting drafted much if that's where you want to go. I think all things equal, I'm going to take Brock Bowers. There's some decent scroll down tight ends, but this game script, it makes so much sense for Bowers to have a strong week. Because the Raiders are likely to be playing from behind. Their receiving room is so thin that he could really just finish as the tight end 1 and be the guy you need. So really like this start. Jefferson, Nakua, Bowers. We see Josh Allen goes here. Starting to think about quarterback, and I've boxed myself a little because my 3 stacking partners are Darnold, Stafford, and Gardner Minshew. And I'm not going to play Gardner Minshew. Really don't love Sam Darnold, and Matt Stafford just never gets there. So going to have to figure out what I want to do. I do want, I am going to take a running back here. I like Jonathan Taylor. The Jets have struggled against running backs quite a bit, and I think that's fine. I think when it comes to these running backs, the Lions are favored to demolish Jacksonville. He could be the one to do the demolishing. Ken Walker has been very active in the pass game. He's been electric this year. Kareem Hunt, I think they're going to run him into the ground. I mean, this is it for Kareem Hunt. Pacheco's probably coming back next week. So I could see him getting a ton of run. I'm not going to take Aaron Jones when I have Justin Jefferson. I think you can do that in small field if you think the Vikings destroy the Titans, but I don't think that's going to win this big BR. And then James Cook. I am really coming around on Cook. I think there is a world where Buffalo, Kansas City isn't, it's not going to be the 14-second game that everyone hopes it is. I think Buffalo wants to control the clock. I think he's an elite play. Kansas City, tough against the run, but I think a Cook who is not drafted in every lineup is a good play. If I go to my quarterbacks, I'm either probably going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, which is just take Bo Nix. Because I have so many Nick Sutton teams, I kind of like naked Nicks. I can't remember if it was Davis or if it was Karain or Pete. One of them was saying how frequently you're going to see Nicks and Sutton paired, that it actually makes sense to play some naked Nicks. I think that's a route I am willing to go. If Nicks goes off the board, okay, so we see A-Rich, and that's a great reminder because A-Rich is not getting drafted in every draft, and he is somebody that you absolutely do not need to pair with anybody. So he is a good scroll down quarterback option if you're into that. I happen to not be into that because I think A-Rich is bad, and I wouldn't want to have him on a team with Jonathan Taylor, but he is a guy you can keep in mind. So we'll end this team with Naked Nicks, Taylor, James Cook, Justin Jefferson, Puka, and Brock Bowers. I quite like this team, and let's fire up another one. All right, so these have been filling pretty fast on this Saturday morning. I hope everyone is having a good Saturday. Oh my gosh, we have Chatty5 Chad here next to Chad Candles. Now I have to say that is not me. I know all of you are thinking I'm here multi-tabling. That is the rumors are false. I don't know who Chatty5 Chad is, but I'm sure they are an absolute legend. But an absolute legend is in here. One, Pat Karain, Daily Rojo. So this is always fun when you do these BRs and you see some of the sort of elite players and content creators and And so I love that you can like run into these guys in these rooms and see what they're up to. So let's see what one Pat Kerrane does at the 101. If he does anything other than CMC, I will be absolutely stunned. So hopefully my audio and everything is working, because I have recorded these and realized my audio is not working, which is not fun, but looks like we are all systems go right now as we breathlessly await for one Pat Kerrane's pick. This is like when you're watching the NFL draft and they've already signed the player, but they haven't turned the card in. So they maximize their airtime. We are maximizing Pat Kerrane's time here as he takes CMC. So, all right, CMC A-Chain. Nothing odd so far. So here we are in the 5 spot. I'm thinking about it. It's so hard for me to take Lamar because I think your opportunity cost in this first round is so high. I think if you're gonna take Lamar, it makes sense to scroll down and take a Zay Flowers to stack with him. I would say a Mark Andrews, but likely being back, you're either in the camp that likely doesn't matter and Mark Andrews is just fully back, or you're of the view that likely is going to eat Andrews' lunch. And I don't know where I fall, but I don't think I care enough to like get involved in that scrum. I think I've mentioned before, I like Kamara over Henry. I don't dislike Henry. I have a bit of a soft fade on him. Meaning I probably should have taken there because he goes at 3 and he was sitting there at 5. But yeah, I think I prefer Kamara in a vacuum to Henry. That passing game floor that Kamara has. Henry, what you're relying on is that he gets there every week, which is a pretty good thing to rely on because Henry gets there every week. But it's like he can't keep getting away with it. Like he'll just be having a terrible game, and then it's like, oh, 80-yard run. It's like, oh, Lamar tackled at the half-yard line. Okay, Henry scores, and it's just how it seems to go. But the snap shares and the workload just isn't what it is for Kamara comparatively, and I see a world where that game, that New Orleans Cleveland game, could have like weird sneaky shootout potential. So Bijan I think makes a huge amount of sense. I love this Atlanta Denver game. I think Bijan really broke out last week. You had Tyler Algier get stuffed at the 1 repeatedly, and then they gave it to Bijan. Lo and behold, Bijan scores a touchdown. So hopefully they've learned. Like, just give Bijan the ball at the goal line. Like, stop giving it to Tyler Algier. You're not getting cute. You're just playing bad. So we'll see where they go. So nothing too odd. We see Travis Kelce go at 10. Tight end's a little interesting, right? So you have Kelce and Bowers who are head and shoulders above everyone else, because we don't know if Kittle's going to play. He's questionable, and so that's always a little scary with Kittle because he's got that like a little bit of Anthony Davis in him where he just like randomly like needs to escape to the locker room, and so there's some fear he might not play. And it's not as bad in BR because you'll get late swap to somebody if he's inactive. But he at 19, you are giving up some potentially pretty strong plays by picking him if he doesn't ultimately end up playing. So I really like Brock Bowers. I think I'll take him if Chad E5 Chad doesn't. If Bowers goes, then I got to figure out what I want to do. So he takes Cooper Kupp. So I'm going to take Bowers here. I'm going to pass on Josh Allen, but I quite like Bowers in this spot. Josh Allen goes right after to the George Kittle drafter. I appreciate you for stopping by, dear viewer, whoever you are out there. Thank you. It is always more fun to stream with an audience than to just talk into the void. Oh my god, I'm up. I didn't even realize I was up, and I have 8 seconds. We're gonna do that thing where we take Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. See, I get distracted. I got excited by my viewer. And, well, anyway, here we go. We got Cortland Sutton. So we got Bijan, Sutton, Bowers. Now I know I have this start, especially if I have Nix, and so I'm going to want to scroll down at wide receiver. And if I'm going to get really sneaky at a scroll down wide receiver, Juwan Jennings makes a lot of sense. He had a midweek ankle injury crop up, but he's fine. He is fine, and he is good to go. And so I think he makes a pretty good amount of sense this week. So we will see how things go there. Brock Purdy is so interesting because he keeps going naked. Like every time I see Purdy taken, it's to someone who doesn't have Debo or Kittle, which is interesting. He's being kind of seen that way. It makes a certain amount of sense, right? He has kind of a sneaky rushing upside. I mean, he's not going to, be like Lamar Jackson or something, but he does scramble, and he can be hyper efficient. So you don't necessarily have to stack him. Baby J, where are you drafting? Okay. So I can take Jennings. Oh, Nix goes. My whole plan is out the window. And if I take Jennings, I don't have the quarterback. So new plan. We could get really spicy and do something like Tillman Jameis, and that runs opposite to Kamara. I don't think this is going to be very popular, despite the fact that Tillman is going to be very popular on DraftKings. Oh my god, Tillman just went. Okay. New plan. Is Love there? Jordan Love is there. Okay. Well, you see, this is why you gotta have plans within plans, as they say in Dune. What we're gonna do is we're going to do Jaden Reed and Jordan Love, kind of wild card. And I will draft so I don't hold up the rest of the queue. This could potentially, randomly, this could be the stack you need. Jordan Love has a super high ceiling. They haven't been great lately, which is why this stack is available. Would I do this in single entry? Probably not. I don't think I want my only bullet to be Love and Reed. But I don't hate it because it's not something people are doing a whole lot. But I think it does make sense. Similarly, I could have gone Mahomes and Hopkins. I think, as you do these BRs, it makes a lot of sense to have these sort of backup plan stacks for when your main plan falls through or you get sniped or, something goes wrong. And that's why, it helps to do a lot of these and sort of have a plan in your head, but also kind of have that backup plan in mind if things go south. So, all right, let's see which spot we get. We have the 3 spot. This has been quite the run of 3 spots. You know what? I forgot to even see what Kareem did in that draft we were in together. So I'll have to go back and check that after, because I am curious to see what he's doing in there. I really don't recognize many names or any names in this one. I can't tell if I recognize Roto Run or if that just sounds like a thing in fantasy, Roto Run. But anyway, he's got goat horns, meaning he has won one of these BRs before, so he probably has some idea of what he's doing in these BR streets. So we roll on. 12 seconds to start. And these typically have just locked into CMC A chain as the 1-2. And as you can see, just looking at the ADP, it fans out fast. I'm thinking of doing something kind of wonky, but you know what? I'm going to take Derrick Henry. No, I'm not. I'm not taking Derrick Henry. They can't make me. I'm taking Kamara. I think Kamara is better than Henry, and I'm just not sure I want to use this draft capital on Justin Jefferson. So don't get bullied by ADP if you don't believe something. It's just, not the way to live your life. So we're going to take Kamara, make a stand that he should go higher than Henry. I almost took Jefferson there, but I don't know. I feel like some of those later wide receivers could get there. And Jefferson just hasn't really separated lately in the way I would like to see him separate for how much you have to pay to get there. All right, so Jefferson, Henry, Lamar, Pickens, B-Rob. And let's see. So I think if I can get Amon-Ra, I will, and I can. Mostly because I would like some exposure to these late running backs. Like I said, I really love James Cook this week. I think Josh Jacobs makes a lot of sense. I want some of these guys, and if I'm going double elite running back every time, I'm never getting down there. Amon-Ra's been kind of a up and down season. Jameson Williams coming to his own has really kind of dampened Amon-Ra's value, right? Amon-Ra used to be the sort of safety blanket. Sometimes he'd even replace the running game. They would just do dump offs to Amon-Ra, and he could PPR scam his way to absolute glory. And this year with Jameson Williams has been so good that hasn't really been there. They did lose Laporta, which I don't think is nothing. I mean, Laporta hasn't gotten a ton of targets, but we could see this offense condense a little more and see a kind of Amon-Ra resurgence, which also is to say that Jameson Williams, I think he is generally undrafted in these, and he could end up making a lot of sense. I am now in a position where I just don't like these options that much, but I think I'm overthinking it. I'd like a little bit of Josh Allen on the chance that this game does kind of shoot out a bit. I can make a late game stack here. I could take a Hopkins or a Knox to pair with Allen. I could play Allen naked. But I have my doubts about Hill and Debo this week, and I'm worried Kittle's not going to play. Breece Hall, the vibe is off. And then, Cooper Kupp is fine, but again, I feel like it's a little bit of a ball-knowing take watching the Rams and feeling like Cooper Kupp shouldn't get there, but then if you look at his game log, it's like he's kind of getting there. I don't know. I have trouble paying for any of those guys. Don't love Allen. That might have been a little bit of a panicky pick, but here we are. So Hall goes, then Kittle. All right. American Rugby takes it to double zeros. I would bet he has Lamar. He does. So he goes Lamar, Flowers. So he's building a little game stack here. Absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. And then sometimes it's funny, you build your game stack and you're like, well, now what? Now what do I do? And so let's see what does he do? Other than take the clock to double zero. So he takes Khalil Shakir. Interesting pick there. Khalil Shakir not drafted in every contest. He's not really a guy that I had too much interest in this little Buffalo stack I am considering putting together. I like Njoku. If I take Njoku, then I'm probably taking Hopkins to finally pair with Josh Allen. I'm not big on Knox. It feels like a little bit of fancy play syndrome to take him. We kind of know what Knox is, even if he absorbs all of Kincaid's work. Knox is a guy where 4 for 44 is kind of a good day, and you're just praying one of those is a touchdown. I can't say that's my favorite. If it seems so unlikely that he's the tight end that you need this week. And oftentimes it feels like when you stack your quarterback with a tight end, you're kind of just doing it to tick the box that you made a stack rather than actually like doing something particularly strong. I have so much Sutton. I do like Garrett Wilson. I think he makes a lot of sense. And then we will end this with one of our scroll down running backs. You know what? What am I doing? I said I was going to stack him with Hopkins, and I didn't take Hopkins. So now I am torn between taking 3 wide receivers or sticking with my 2 running backs are better. I think I'm going to take Hopkins here. I do think, some people a lot smarter than me have said that this is really a 2 running back week. But that doesn't mean never take 3 wide receiver. And I think in this case, what am I doing? Hopkins isn't even out. I am losing my mind. I am taking... My God. And then Kareem Hunt goes. I am falling apart here. I did not mean Hopkins. I meant Cooper. I meant Amari Cooper. Okay. Here we go. Dear God. Dear God, chat. We're going to take Cooper to pair with Josh Allen. Let's see what the running back off. But no, you know what? We're not. We're going to take Jonathan Taylor and hope Josh Allen can get there with his legs. End of story. Jonathan Taylor should be getting drafted. The Jets have struggled against running backs this year. We have Garrett Wilson. I don't mind taking Allen naked. In DFS, I really like the Jets defense this week. So that's, this is a little bit of a mini hedge there. But if the Colts are able to hang around and be competitive, it could well be because Taylor is getting there. So we continue waiting for 3. I'm going to see if I can dragoon anyone else into joining this. Again, thank you to my loyal viewers here. You guys are truly the best. Come hang out. Okay. All right, we are full, and let's see what we get in this room. All right, the 2 spot. Nice. Something different from the 3 hole, which we have been seeing an awful lot of. So I do not recognize any of these people in here, other than I know I've played with Line of Scrimmage before. I love the Swayze Express. That is a great name. I am a big Swayze fan. I think Point Break, one of the greatest films ever made. Red Dawn, absolutely fantastic. And of course, Roadhouse. So this, tread lightly when you are in a room with the Swayze Express, because this is someone with impeccable taste and culture. So Casey on the clock here. Now he takes CMC, and I will take A-Chain. And we will see where we go from there. Henry goes, then Jefferson, Kamara. Let's see. Does the 6-7 turn go double elite running back? Are they a Kyron Bijan slappy? Because, they are a Gibbs Nakua slappy. See, this is someone who knows what they're doing because they're getting a little different, right? Like, those guys both have ADPs past 8, I believe. So you're not going to see them paired together that often. So that's a good way to get different there, but still have some elite players. I like them doing that. It could well be that you need the 2 elite running backs. But if not, you are sort of boxing out a lot of the field by doing something so different. Me, on the other hand, I'm just going to take the ADP value and move on with my life because Kyron, absolutely elite play this week. I'm just gonna take this ADP value in this room. I really like. I think, again, as I've said before, I think Pickens is a little bit of the sort of last high tier wide receiver that I'm happy with as my first receiver, unless I'm really scrolling down. And I'm happy to get him there, even at the cost of one of the higher end tight ends. All right, so we see Bowers goes. Swayze Express takes Breece Hall. I expected a little more out of the Swayze Express, gotta be honest, but that's okay. He still cannot take away from his taste in film. All right. Brock Purdy, George Kittle go as a pair. Makes sense. We see Tyreek go. People making pretty standard teams here. Let's see what we can conjure up. And I think I'm just, again, I know it's not the greatest content in the world making a Gorillion, Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton teams. But sometimes when you have an idea in your head and you just want to let it rip. So hopefully this guy doesn't take Sutton, or we are going to be coming up with a backup plan. "10 seconds for Valentino." All right, he does not. Oh, so I could click on a comment to show it on screen. I could have brought up Bowser's comment next time. So we have our Nix Sutton stack, and there is one player who I have not been taking that I really think I should take a little more of. The much maligned Kyle Pitts. Assuming Njoku doesn't go. If Njoku goes, I will take Pitts. I have to think someone will take Njoku. I just think he makes a lot of sense against this Saints defense that is circling the drain. But then if Jaspel doesn't take him, I kind of want to take Pitts, but I think it's a little bit of fancy play syndrome. I'm not worried about being duped on this team, frankly. I think when you have to look at these, you have to say, like, what are the odds? Like, is it significantly more likely Njoku gets there than Pitts? And kind of feel like it is. So I'm gonna play Njoku here. I can push the plane because he can't take a tight end, and neither can he. He needs a receiver to end his team. So we will end up with Njoku there, and let's fire up another one. let's fire up another one. Welcome. I have another viewer came in. Excited to have you. I was just responding to someone on Twitter. Glad to have you here. We are now full, and we got the 101. So please stick around because you are evidently the good luck charm, dear viewer. Looking at the names, I don't see anyone I recognize in this room. We are not going to overthink it. We're just going to take CMC. Haven't had the 101 that much today, so glad to have it. I think it was Fantasy Dog Pound over the summer or earlier this year was showing some study that showed like the percent of winners that had the 101 in BRs from last year, and it was notable. Like there's just weeks where you need the 101 in order to win these, and we like to tell ourselves like, oh, you can win from any spot, but if CMC scores 40 fantasy points, like you're done if you don't have him. So it is nice to get that opportunity, and I'm not saying it's going to happen this week. I don't think it is. I think there's not a huge difference in the ceiling of CMC, A-Chain, Kamara, Kyren, Bijan this week. I think that's sort of, to me, somewhat flatter tier than it could be. And part of that is due to, CMC still potentially having a little bit shorter of a leash than usual. Shanahan loves to play CMC deep into blowouts normally. I could see a world where this game gets a little out of hand and CMC rests when, normally he would have been out there for that, that one extra drive where he, gets that last touchdown that just puts him into the stratosphere. That said, I think CMC is a smash, and it's overthinking it to not take him at the 1. Because it's not like A-Chain goes at the 2 every single time. So, he falls sometimes. So you can get your exposure to everyone else and still take CMC when you are presented with that opportunity. So here again, as we've been talking about, this 6-7 turn is so often double running back. Some combination of Bijan, Gibbs, Kyren, Kamara. Henry going at 9 is a little unusual. That's late. But then if we look at his team, no, that is difficult. It's difficult to get Jefferson Henry. So he is a little bit of a unique start. Henry will slip to like 6, 7, 8, but 9, I have not seen that yet. So it remains to be seen if Henry is going to keep sliding, or if this is just like weird room variance, like someone taking Travis Kelce at 8. That doesn't seem great to me. So, I think I'm going to take Puka and Pickens here, and I kind of like that. Take two of the elite wide receivers, sort of thin out the wide receiver pool for everyone else. I think the scroll down options at running back are pretty darn strong. The only thing I don't like about this is I don't like the stacking partner quarterbacks for, I don't really like Stafford or Russ that much. If Purdy falls to me, do I want to be the really giga fancy Purdy CMC guy? Kind of a little bit. I'm never that guy. Especially considering, in all likelihood, now I'm fishing for like a tight end stack, which, as I said before, feels a lot like box ticking rather than necessarily super good play. Could you do like Love and Craft? Like that feels cute, but is it cuter than Purdy CMC? I don't know. I might be talking myself into the Lovecraft. But stay tuned. stay tuned, dear listener. I could also do Jameis and Joku, which feels pretty interesting. Especially as I said, the Saints trading away Lattimore. That defense is pretty bad. I don't think that's going to be very popular to do. I think there's a good shot when you do see Jameis, you might see Kamara on the other side, so we can get a little different. Not every time. People aren't as big on bringbacks, but let's see. Tillman goes, so we can ruin this guy's day. Does Dog Nuts need a quarter? He does. Oh, he's setting it up. We're going to be that guy. We're going to be the Grinch that stole Jameis. We're going to do it, and this guy's just going to seethe. I'm just imagining Dog Nuts absolutely seething because he had this great little mini thing going, and we just took it from him. He's there like Chad Candles. You have ruined my day. So you hate to see it. You really hate to see it, but that is the world that we live in now. So, all right. Dog Nuts takes Purdy, so he goes naked Purdy. Maybe he's hoping he can get Kittle, which he very well might. There's two people need tight ends. Let's see if he does get it. Let's see if he gets his consolation prize. Meanwhile, I need to figure out who I'm taking at running back. I don't think I want to go Walker opposite CMC. I think I'm selling myself on this James Cook situation. I think there's a pretty good chance they really try to establish it against Kansas City. No, that Dog Nuts doesn't even get Kittle. He's just absolutely seething right now. Conversely, I could go Kareem Hunt. I mean, look at these 7 receptions against Denver. My God. 27 carries. Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, aside from just lazy underdog box score clicking, I do think James Cook should be owned more than he is. Same with Ramondre, right? I mean, they've phased Gibson completely out of this offense. I'm kind of talking myself into Ramondre opposite this Puka thing, and if people aren't playing Cook, they're really not playing Ramondre. So we're going to do Ramondre. So this team is going to end up Jameis, CMC, Ramondre, Puka, Pickens, and Joku. I will turn on the autopilot, and we will take... Oh, all right. We'll do one more. We will do one more. Waiting for one. Waiting for one. Let's see. Anything going on in any Discords? Pretty quiet. It's an absolutely beautiful day outside. But it's also a beautiful day to stream Battle Royale, folks. It really is. So let us see how this goes. Draft starts in 30, and we have the 6-7. Okay. So will we be a double RB drafter, or will we be slightly more creative? Stay tuned. I am going to go AFK for 1 second, but just enjoy the soothing sounds of StreamYard royalty-free music. I will be right back. All right, we are back, and we have CMC, A-Chain, Jefferson, Kamara, Amon-Ra. So, again, Derrick Henry slipping. I don't want no Derrick Henry. Do I want to be the Henry Pickens slappy? You know what? We're going to be that guy. We are going to build a game stack here, which I don't think is as essential in these BRs, but I have not really done this combination. I do worry there are people that may have gotten Henry, another elite player, and then Pickens later, in which case we're kind of drawing a little thin. We might be behind the curve on what other people have built, but there are so many good scroll down options this week. I don't mind that. And again, being that I'm going to try to get about 100 of these in, I do want some outliers. They can't, I don't want all my teams to look exactly the same. And so this is something that is different. Welcome, dear viewer. Thank you for joining me here on this beautiful Saturday morning. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we can make a shipper here. See what happens. So we see Gibbs and Kyron go, then Lamar, Travis Kelce. Nothing out of the ordinary as of yet. I have to imagine this guy takes Bijan, but he is going to dramatically wind the clock and see who he pairs with CMC. He takes Josh Allen. So he takes Allen, and what else is he going to do? It's always hard to tell if someone is auto-drafting or if they're really just absolutely pondering. So he takes Nakua, which I think is fine, right? Again, as I've said before, I think there's a bit of a drop-off after that Nakua Pickens when it comes to the wide receivers. You can start making arguments that the scroll-down receivers are not significantly worse than the plays in this like late teens, early 20s range as far as their potential upside. And then factor that with the very low ownership of those players. It starts making a little sense to potentially skip that range, or at least go lighter on it. If I get Brock Bowers, I will be very happy. I think he is head and shoulders the end of another tier. I worry about Kittle playing, so I'm going to take Bowers, and I think I'm going to make this try to make another Knicks Sutton team. So I will go Bowers and Sutton. I love the scroll down running backs this week. I think, Jacksonville could just get demolished by Denver or by Detroit this week. I think people are sleeping on Walker. He has been electric this year. This is the last ride of Kareem Hunt. Chicago, the vibe is in shambles. Josh Jacobs, people hate playing Josh Jacobs, but I mean, he's, not been terrible. Like, Detroit has a really good run defense, and he's still, don't ask me to do that math, but that looks like, at least 4 yards a carry against a very good run defense. And he torched Jacksonville, right? Decent receiving outing against Houston. Don't hate playing Josh Jacobs, and he's going undrafted most of the time. So I think that makes sense. I love Cook here. I think Ramondre's in play. I think you can play Nick Chubb. So I like getting one elite running back, some good wide receivers, and then scrolling down for late running back. But it is so tempting when you can have like Kamara and Bijan at like the 6-7 turn. That's so hard to say no to. So it's a great slate this week because you just have so many palatable options that it feels like you can tell yourself a story that you're building a shipper kind of regardless of where you're drafting, which is always fun. So I think I want to queue up Knicks. Hopefully I can get him because I love his I love this matchup against Atlanta. I think this could be, huge opportunity. I like pairing him with Sutton. And now it is a matter of what running back do I want. And I feel like I almost talked myself into this Josh Jacobs situation. I don't know. I don't have much Jacobs. I also don't have this Henry Pickens team yet, and so I kind of don't want to like compound weirdness. I've been picking Cook more lately, so I think I want to do this team. So I got Knicks, then Henry and Cook running back, Pickens and Sutton at receiver, and Bowers at tight end. Love this team. Again, haven't done much Henry Pickens, but I think that could be, if that game shoots out, those two could go off. And so I am happy with this team, and we will build another one. Thank you for stopping by. It is always nice to have some people here in the chat. Waiting for two. And we will see when others join. So we get the 5 spot, which not my favorite. El Slapo, just a fantastic name. I think I've seen that name before. What a perfect name for Underdog, Underdog.com. That is a good bit. So we shall see what we do here. "17 seconds to start. Everything hinges on how El Slapo begins. Will he take CMC? And I suspect yes. That ADP of 1.2 suggests not a lot of people going too far afield. We saw Henry fall from 2 to 3. Looks like he might even get flipped by Jefferson pretty soon. Henry falling in a lot of rooms, like the last room we were just in. I have a feeling this guy's taking Jefferson. He sees that Henry fall, and he is getting scared. Let's see. Yep, he took Jefferson. All right, it's so hard to not take Kamara over Henry. I mean, my God, this receiving floor, this is so juicy. You just love this. I mean, what are we doing here? Like Henry last week got there with that 1-yard touchdown. Like if Lamar houses that, then Henry scored 7 points. Like I know he did score, so you can't just like take it away from him. But my God, people, he can't keep getting away with it. So we take Kamara, and we're happy about that. And let's see what else we can do. I think I prefer to take a wide receiver in this spot. But my gosh, Bijan. It's so hard to not take Bijan. It's so hard to not go Bijan Kamara. Are we really do we really have the strength to do something weird and take like George Pickens? I feel like I'm going to take George Pickens. And part of this is because I've got 60 drafts into this, and I know I have a bunch of Kamara Bijan teams that I want some more combinations, especially if I'm like literally just on the Bo Nix to Valhalla train. Oh, let's see about switching up the music, huh? Let's see about switching up the music. All right, here we go. We are 56 minutes into the stream. Thanks to everybody who has joined. Really appreciate it. trying to see if we can get some friends here. But it is a grind, folks. But you know what? One of these days, we're going to ship one of these. And hopefully you are here to be a part of it, because that would be awesome. All right. Travis Kelce goes. Josh Jacobs going in the third. El Slapo, an absolute lunatic. He must have heard our discussion about Jacobs earlier and just bought in, because that is crazy to see Jacobs go at 13 to the point where hopefully they don't throw our draft out, because that would stink. So we'll take Bowers here. I think, again, he makes a ton of sense. He represents that tier break. Oh, yes. Dan Tanton. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you, Dan, for swinging by. Always appreciate it. We're going to take Cortland Sutton here, because we are going to just build out this Bo Nix Sutton stack for all of the glory. Dan, I have to tell you, you are the first comment ever to be brought on stream in this channel. So you hold that honor. How is the audio sound, if you don't mind answering? Because I can't hear myself. I am just talking into the void. So Taysom Hill, this is a weird room. Taysom Hill going in the 4th round? What are we doing here? People are crazy. This guy stacks Lamar, Henry, and then takes Taysom in the 4th. Folks, I am not one to proclaim a lineup dead. And if I am, I will proclaim my own lineups dead. This lineup is dead. This is terrible. This is not how you win BR. You have a non-pass catching running back stacked with your running quarterback. Like, I cannot think of two worse players to spend your draft capital on the same team. Do not do this. You know, again, I hesitate to criticize others. However, this person needs to be shamed and ridiculed into playing better, because that is just not good. Like, you got to do better than that, bud. But let's see. This guy taking 3 elite receivers, no running backs yet. But he does have George Kittle. Let's see. Does he take Purdy? Is he the Purdy guy? We will never know about our audio quality, because Dan has taken a vow of silence and simply says, you can figure that out on your own, Chad. I don't need to take a quarterback here, because the people after me can't, so I need another running back. Who do I take? This could be a Kareem Hunt team. So we can do a Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, what year is it? And then go Pickens, Sutton, and Bo Nix to round it out. I will put us on autopilot, because this guy cannot take Bo Nix from me. So we'll end with this team. I like this team. This is a great team to build 1 hour into the stream. And let's fire up one more. Fire up another one. We're going strong, folks. It is an absolutely beautiful day to be ripping these BRs. And so I am glad to share it here with you, especially you, Dan. Let's bring this comment back on stream. I think the people deserve to see this, because I mean, if your viewers aren't putting air in your tires, like what kind of viewership do you have? You have to wonder. So here we are in the 5-hole. We got more in Magikarp. Play with this guy a lot. I assume he knows what he's doing. Could I check his advance rates and whatnot on BBMDB? I could. Will I? No. I kind of sometimes just like to let mysteries linger, and I imagine Magikarp is just sitting there, just knowing all the ball, and we have already lost in this room because he is there. But we will continue, see how we do. 15 seconds to start. 15 seconds, folks. All right. Four picks away as we wait for CKNI 65. Was he born in 1965? If so, he might take Derrick Henry here at the 101. But he takes CMC. And yeah, here we go. The CMC A-Chain start is the most common these days, and we are unlikely to see anything else here. But folks, if we do, you will be the first to know. We did not. We see Justin Jefferson go at the 102. This is exciting. This is exciting stuff, folks. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Not seeing A-Chain go at the 2 is about as exciting as it gets in the BR streets. Charger 1 is going to take the full clock to just celebrate being handed Devon A-Chain one spot past ADP. So Patrick Barnes' YouTube is up. I wonder if he's currently streaming now. If so, Patrick, keep it up, man. Keep it up. Will he take Derrick Henry? He's a YouTube streamer. No way. No way. There's nothing more that the younger generation hates than Derrick Henry. He will not be taking Derrick Henry. He couldn't. He had to take Kyron. See, because he's streaming on YouTube, folks, he has to do something fancy. You can't just take who's there at ADP. That's too boring. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. And he knows it. That's why he's Patrick Barnes YouTube. That said, I will skip Derrick Henry as well. I don't want to be on Patrick Barnes' channel like a non-ball knower. That would be awful. So let's not let that happen. And let's take Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this guy's going to take Jahmyr Gibbs because he knows 2 running back is how you build this week. And he knows that Jacksonville is susceptible to the run. And he is going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my God, he took Travis Kelce. See, this is why you got to tune into Patrick Barnes' channel, because he's a wild card. Actually, I do like the Kelce pick because I think where we are in this 8-9 range, we get boxed out of elite tight end most of the time. Kelce rarely gets past 14. So if you want him, you kind of got to leap ahead. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of Kyron Kelce teams. So that does make sense. I guess that's not quite true because he took Kyron early. So you can get that just in different spots on the board. But, I like the idea. I like the idea of getting a little different because it is so easy to just build the same team from the draft spot every time. Lamar goes at 10. Let's see what Kite Bolio Blue. He gets I like Nakua there. That makes a lot of sense. And the board swings back our way once Mr. 65 gets to make their picks. So Gibbs, slightly past ADP is always nice. And Josh Allen. So nothing too crazy here other than that very early Kyron pick, which I think is fine. because it's pretty flat. It's pretty flat once you get past a chain of who you want to be taking. So Charger 1, do we think he is a Charger fan, or this is like a cell phone charger? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he named himself that, but he's taken the full clock, so we have time to ponder these sorts of things. He takes George Pickens. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to have taken Pickens there. Thinking of getting a little weird. And doing the Sutton Nix thing early, and then just going double scroll down. Or do I want... I don't know. I was telling myself I was going to make this a Jameis Tillman team. Thank you. Loves the St. Brown pick. Oh my gosh. Got to bring that comment up. Dan, I appreciate it. I like St. Brown this week. I think with Laporta out, we might see this offense condense and St. Brown kind of go back to that role that we all hoped he had to start the season, which hasn't really borne out yet, to be honest, which has been a little weird, but that's okay. This feels like maybe we take Njoku, and then we get this little Njoku Kamara mini stack, and we take one of our scroll down running backs. I mean, this is exciting stuff here. Dan, if you're not in the BR streets, I recommend it, because I see you there watching this, just knowing this is scintillating stuff. Like, Magikarp takes Brock Purdy here with Debo. Like, look at that. Look at the stacks you can build. This is nothing like DraftKings. This is Underdog. We are battling each other in these rooms, just scraping and clawing our way to $40,000, which is the goal this week. I had to switch the comment back because the people need to come in here and see the support that this community has, which is really what it's all about. So let's see if this guy takes a tight end or if he pushes it to the end. Hopefully he doesn't take Njoku, because I kind of want it. I don't really want to do a scroll down tight end if I can avoid it. I might not be able to avoid it though. Again, this guy just taking his full time. He takes JSN. Very interesting pick. I don't hate that at all. The Niners are vulnerable to slot receivers. JSN has been coming into his own. We'll see what happens with DK Metcalf back. But can't say I hate that pick. I probably, unless he has a scroll down tight end that he loves, I probably would, if I'm him, take a tight end first, because I haven't seen anyone really take JSN. And there's a bunch of people who need tight ends after him, but you never know. I mean, if your plan is, okay, I've been waiting forever to get CMC and I really want JSN on the other side, then it doesn't make sense to wait if you're kind of late tight end agnostic, which a lot of people are, right? Like, is there a huge difference in this whole range of tight ends? Probably not. Although I do think Njoku separates himself a little from this pack. Would I be shocked if he gets outscored by Hunter Henry? I'd be a little surprised. With all that blabbering, I still need to take a final running back. Who will it be? I would like more Montgomery exposure, but not with Amon-Ra on the team. That doesn't make any sense. I do want a little more Ramondre. I want to sprinkle these guys in. I probably need a better system because I also want Josh Jacobs. Like, we're going to take Josh Jacobs here. We're going to live a little. In the words of the immortal David Kitchen, we're going to live a little. We're going to take Josh Jacobs, turn on autopilot. So we will end the team with Knicks, Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Amon-Ra, Cortland Sutton, and David Njoku. And we will run it back. For our 65th Battle Royale of the week, thank you for tuning in. We get the 6-7 pick, a Magikarp in the room again. He's probably sitting there thinking the same thing about Chad Candles, just wondering what it's all about. But here we are together in these rooms, just trying to make the best teams with the information we have. Chat, if you have any suggestions of teams you want to see, please post them in the chat, and I'll see if I can incorporate those picks in. No idea will be outright rejected unless it involves Gardner Minshew, in which case your idea will be outright rejected. Seven seconds to launch. We are 1 hour, 13 minutes into the stream. Again, thank you for swinging by, especially you, Dan. Thank you for coming by. Loyal listener, first comment ever. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff. And Magikarp taking his time like a team that signed their first round draft pick, but just enjoy seeing themselves on the NFL Network, seeing the logo in the bottom right on the clock. Take CMC. Nothing less surprising in BR right now. Fugoetsi is up. Also taking their time. Takes Kamara. Anything to avoid Derrick Henry in the top 5. I don't mind taking Kamara over A-Chain if that's your take. I think A-Chain's pass floor is so good. Wow. Henry over A-Chain. Red Hook. Will Red Hook take it, or is he like a Jefferson truther? I've never seen A-Chain get to 6. I mean, part of the reason is because I'll take him before that would happen if I had like the 2, 3, 4, or 5. But that would be quite the fall. Don't foresee that happening. A-Chain goes, and we are up. So you know what? We're going to take a page out of. It was that streamer. You know, he taught us something. He said, "What if Bijan Kelsey is what you need, and you don't have it because you've just been waiting for Kelsey to fall, and he never does." Now we've got it. Now chat, we've got some unique combinations, okay? We've got some stuff that other people aren't going to have. Now, sometimes people don't have things because they're bad. You've got to remember that. Sometimes things don't happen because they're terrible ideas. But I don't know that this is the worst idea ever. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, because this is going to be a little different. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to start sprinkling this in more. So thanks, random YouTuber who we had a stream with. If you ever find yourself watching this stream and you make it an hour and 16 minutes in, I just want to say thank you. Dan likes Breece Hall this week. Dan, did you pick that because I said I don't like Breece Hall? Is that why? And now you are putting me in the awkward predicament of saying I'm encouraging suggestions while rejecting them. You make a good point, Dan. You make a very good point. He's just kind of sucked. Like, I know it's lazy to box score watch, but like, what are we doing here? Why does he only have 10 carries against Arizona? I guess he was getting 5 yards a carry. I blame everything. I agree with you. I think the Colts are. I love Jets defense, and of course Brock Bowers is here. Dan, I am going to make next team when I do things a little more standard. We'll make it a Breece Hall team. You may have talked me into this. I hate how Aaron Rodgers runs the play clock to double zeros every time. It's so infuriatingly tilting, and it just limits like the possessions, and I feel like it limits the upside of a lot of these Jets players. And Hall just has been this is not what you drafted Breece Hall for, right? And these aren't really like tough matchups. Like, Patriots defense is okay. Texans defense isn't great. I mean, Arizona, like, A-Chain absolutely lit them up. And yet, Breece Hall hasn't. Like, he's still ceding some work to Braylon Allen, which is scary. So we're all kind of waiting for this Breece Hall breakout that's like not happening. I don't know. I'll tell you this, if Breece Hall is here at 30, I might take him, and he could, right? If a Magic Carp doesn't take him, this guy has 2 running backs. This guy has Red Hook still can take him. So we'll see. I wasn't planning on taking Hall there, but if he falls to me at 30, I will take him. Yeah, okay, so Breece Hall does go. We'll take him. We will take him next time, assuming it makes sense. How are we feeling about like Cedric Tillman versus like Juwan Jennings? Dan, I have this feeling you might be a Browns fan and you might have an opinion on one Cedric Tillman. And I would love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, I will queue up a running back. And I think we'll just queue up Kareem Hunt. Winston is so erratic. He is. This sounds like someone who is telling me telepathically through the ether, Chad, don't take him. Take Juwan Jennings. I hear you through the void, through space and time. I'm in this predicament in DFS this week of Jennings versus Tillman. Tillman's been really good this year. So, and they're the same exact price. Well, I'll wrap this lineup up. We got Nix, Bijan, Hunt, Sutton, Jennings, and Travis Kelce. Oh my God, I took Hunt with Kelce. God damn it. This team is toast. I could have taken any scroll down running back, and I was thinking too much about him. That's annoying because I like this weird Bijan Kelce thing I did, and I squandered the lineup. That is truly, truly unfortunate. Dear God, people, what are we doing here? Well, we are an hour and 21 minutes into the stream, and we had our first truly, truly dead team, and that's the way she goes. But we roll on, and let's see what we get. The third pick of the draft. The third pick. See, here's where if you wanted to do Bijan Kelsey, you might not even get Kelsey at 10 if he goes ahead of you. So if I reach for Bijan early, I could be left looking very foolish. So I will save that sort of wild behavior for when I have the 6th pick or 5th pick in these. And I'll probably take Kamara, assuming this opens CMC A-Chain. Dan, how's the audio volume and quality? All right, we're going to try feeding the ducks. We're going to see how that goes. Fantastic. Music is top notch. Dan, this is royalty-free music from StreamYard. So this is a jam. Almost as much of a jam as Alvin Kamara. Although I should ask you what you think of Kamara against the Cleveland footballing Browns this week. For me, it is more the Saints have nobody left, and the entire plane is built out of Alvin Kamara, and they have shown no interest in doing anything else. A top play. You heard it here first, folks. We are in lockstep about Kamara and that being a good play. So yeah, I agree. I think Kamara is a smash. It is so hard to not take Kamara with that third pick. Do we make Kamara Bijan or do we make Kamara Kelsey? Oh boy. I'm going to take Bijan. I know this is what I've done here is I've built the team that everyone's building at 6-7, but I'm building it at 3-10, which isn't always super fun when you realize you're like just doing the same thing later in the draft. But I don't know if I really want to do the Kelsey thing, especially after I just did it and there was an incident. So yeah, I like St. Brown. I think St. Brown makes a ton of sense this week. It's so hard with Detroit because it feels like if you get it wrong, you could end up with the guy holding the bag. They spread the ball around so much these days, but it feels like someone on that team could just be who you need this week. BBW Slayer 666. I didn't even notice this name. Yes. I hope. I mean, my God, people. My God. I'm too distracted by this absolute king here. I have a hard time not taking Broccoli Bowers. Just considering the game script that they are likely to be in. I don't think the Dolphins defense is really going to be able to stop Bowers. I feel like Bowers could at minimum be a PPR scam and at maximum just kind of be a bit of a slate breaker. People are saying the Dolphins are back. I am struggling to see it. I believe the Raiders are coming off a bye. The Dolphins are coming off of Monday Night Football. So you have a short week against a team coming off a bye. Feels bad, man. I don't know. Assuming the Raiders don't just quit on their coach and pack it in, the Dolphins could get kicked in the teeth when they're not expecting it. But by the same token, when you're floating Desmond Ridder as a possible starting quarterback, you are not looking good. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like this team. I know I've built this team before. If I do get to go Sutton and then Nix here, I'm going to have to get a little weird at receiver so I don't dupe myself. Because you can 100% dupe yourself in DraftKings. Dan, what do you feel? What do you feel about Jameson Williams? Could he be the scroll down guy you need with Laporta out? Could he be the sneaky lion this week? Because he's going unowned in these things. Absolutely. All right. Wheels up, boys. Wheels up. We're going to take Bovine, Nix, and we'll take JMO because I know I haven't taken a single Jameson Williams yet. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know where I'm going with Jacksonville though. That offense kind of scares me. Where is Brian Thomas Jr.? He's not being drafted. Where are you? Brian Thomas cleared despite wow, that is not good. Mac Jones is just so bad. Mac Jones is a real problem. But yeah, I mean, I think in this format with Stone Zero people playing BTJ, I don't hate that. Everyone is going the Ingram route if you want a piece of the Jacksonville game. You see him getting drafted in most drafts. I believe where did he go? Yeah, in the 5th round here. I feel like I haven't seen him not go in a draft. So we got Nix, Kamara, Bijan, Sutton, JMO, and Broccoli Bowers. Let's do another one. All right. Waiting for 4. All right. Still waiting for 4. How is the college football streets going, Dan? I know you are something of an expert in those streets. I need to learn some college football for myself, especially to get ready for Battle Royale or for best ball season, which is be here before you know it. Suddenly it'll be February. Need Liberty to score one more time. Dan, I don't know if you're aware, but when you say that, it automatically summons Gamblers Anonymous to come to your home and say, please, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. Is it? I don't even know if that's a bit. I thought Liberty University was like Jerry Falwell's school. Like I thought that was like a Christian school. Like they actually have a football team. I mean, you learn something new every day. What we do learn is we've got the 2 spot, so we can take CMC or A-Chain, which is give me liberty, give me death. That is true. That is true. That's enough to make me bet on the team. That is enough to get me to bet. Yeah, Dead Air. Dead Air is really good for the stream. I was switching the music up. Justin Jefferson at the 101. My God. Well, we'll take CMC. We will not look a gift horse in the mouth, especially when that gift horse is named Christian McCaffrey. I get taking Jefferson at the 101 because he is the top receiver of the week, but I don't think it's good. I think you're overthinking it. I think you only do that if you're running like one of these and you're a Jefferson truther and you just get your guy. It's fine. But I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think you should take him ahead of A-Chain, CMC, or frankly, Kamara. This is the part where we dream that Kamara can fall to 11 before he gets snapped up by someone named Glue Eater. And you're disappointed. But we shall see. We shall see. Travis Kelce goes. So I can go running back if I want. I will if it's Kamara. I probably will if it's Kyron. I won't if it's Gibbs. I think in that case I would take Puka. Now, Glue Eater takes Kamara, as we predicted. Can't win them all, folks. You can't win them all. Yeah, I think to me Gibbs is closer to the next pack of running backs than Puka and Gibbs. Than Puka and Pickens are. So we'll just take Puka here. Maybe this might be that Breece Hall team. I think I don't want 0 Breece Hall. I've done 80 or whatever, 65 of these, and I don't have any Breece Hall. I'm beginning to think that might be bad. This is how I lose all my money. So we take Breece Hall, and this is exciting. Let's see what we can do. I would love if I could do my Sutton Knicks bit and then just take the tight end du jour at the end. See if we can get lucky with like a falling Njoku again or something. Pickens goes, Tyreek goes. Glue Eater is, other than the Kamara pick, this is like, I'm taking 0 Lamar and I've taken 0 Tyreek. And if they beat me this week, what am I going to do? Three picks away. Brock Purdy, who goes to the Debo owner, makes sense. Allen goes. So we will queue up Sutton. Now the risk is people do take naked Knicks, and this guy doesn't really have an obvious stacking partner. I almost feel like it's more likely this guy reaches down and takes Knicks from me than he just takes Sutton for some reason ahead of these other guys who all look pretty good. If I end up with... Okay, there he goes. That's the way she goes. Okay. This is now a Cedric Tillman team. Yeah, this is a Cedric. We'll take Jameis. We will take Jameis. That was disappointing. I did want the Knicks team with this start. Especially considering I have no Breece Hall and I have almost probably 80 to 90% Knicks. I kind of want my limited Breece Hall teams to actually be with Knicks, not just complete outlier teams. But that's okay. We can queue up Ingram, Hawkinson, Taysom. Maybe we'll put Taysom on top as a running back. I don't foresee needing to queue up more than this. So we'll end up with one of these tight ends. Hopefully it's Hill. If not, well, we'll get one of these other ones, go on autopilot, and move on to the next team. 1 hour, 38 minutes. We'll see how many more of these we do. Appreciate everyone who has come by. We are on the road to 50 subs, setting the bar, something hopefully attainable. I believe we're at 14. And Magikarp is in the room because he is everywhere. Imagine not being in a room with a Magikarp. You would begin to wonder, am I really doing Battle Royales? You start to question yourself. So he's sort of our touchstone to reality, our spinning top in Inception, if you will, to make sure we are not in the dream world, is that we are here with a Magikarp. So 22 seconds. Free Tim Tebow is up first. I hope Tim Tebow is not in jail. That would make me sad. He seems like a nice enough guy. But you never know. I assume this is in reference to playing Tim Tebow, although I feel like Underdog was invented long after Tim Tebow had retired. But I don't know. I am fairly new to the dog app. I only started last year. And I only started with playoff BRs and some best ball, which was a complete disaster. But hopefully this year goes better. A-Chain goes first, then McCaffrey. So a switch of the top two. Jefferson goes third. This guy's going to take Kamara because people are just fleeing the Derrick Henry ship. The Derrick Henry ship is sinking, and people are jumping off into the warm embrace of Alvin Kamara. Let's see if we're right. We're not right. He took Henry. Okay, well, we'll just take Kamara. We will happily take Alvin Kamara. And maybe we'll make a Kamara-Kelsey team and not end with Kareem Hunt. That would be interesting. Yeah, people love doing this Kyron Bijan thing. It feels so comfy. It feels so cozy. And it's going to be so duped that if it's what you need, you are scraping and clawing in a 4v4 with everyone else who had the 6th or 5th pick. You will be fighting for your life if that is the way you go. But it could be what you need. So I'm not saying don't do that. But I'm saying know that you are getting yourself into a scrum if you do that. We see Lamar go next to Hawkberg. Hawkberg with the coveted goat horns, denoting a Battle Royale winner, what we all really come here playing for upgrades to our avatar here on the Dog app. Next stop for me will be making thumbnails. I think, an exciting thumbnail might be exactly what I need to just kick this into high gear. But I am, of course, joking. I don't think it's a thumbnail, but, trying to do some of these long streams. Hopefully the algo notice me, senpai. Put me in front of people. I'm not ready for the big time, but hopefully we can get, 10, 15 people watching. That would be fun. That would be a nice start. And I would love George Pickens, but he's not going to fall to me. I'm going to put him in the queue anyway, just to make sure he doesn't fall to me. Dan, I might be trying to put Breece Hall in. Let's see if we can get Breece Hall. Man, if he doesn't take Pickens or Hall, I will get both, because Magikarp can't. He can't take a running back, so that's not good. I don't need to take Hall here. I can take Sutton, who is my preferred wide receiver here. And then a Magikarp sitting there shaking his fist at the sky. If only I hadn't taken 2 running backs, I could take Breece Hall right now. But position limits have thwarted his dream, and he takes Cooper Kupp and Brock Bowers. So we have Kamara and Breece, Lightning, Sutton, Travis Kelce. If we actually can get one Bovine Nix, that would be exciting. He is kind of the fancy play. I heard he was getting drafted in about 25% of rooms. It's hard for me to know because I literally have been taking him every time, so I don't know what would happen if I wasn't there. That seems right, because let's see, where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's showing us the 5th QB in ADP, which suggests he's going to be drafted more than 25% of the time, right? I think he's moved up a little bit. I don't know if he was. I think he started the week a bit lower than this. So he might actually be owned more than I think. And I think he'll be paired with Sutton a lot. But, if that's what you need, I'm going to show up to the party with 90 Nick Sutton lineups. And hopefully one of them is good. But you never know. So I will get him, which is exciting. And the question is who to pair him with. Not a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. I do not want to do that. I have Nose Flowers. I think I'm going to do Juwan Jennings. Assuming a Magikarp doesn't take him. This is one of those positions where it's good to pay attention to what people are doing, because I think a Magikarp knows what he's doing. And so I'm curious to who he takes with his scroll down picks. He's got Kyron Bijan Cup. So he takes Purdy, which of course Purdy makes a ton of sense. Oh my God. He did Purdy Jennings. Okay. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. So we will do Tillman instead. Yeah, well, at least we know Jennings probably was a good pick. Alas, if I take Jennings, what does he do? Does he take Nix? He might, but we will never know. So we try not to dwell on those mysteries that are forever unsolvable and can drive you mad. So one more BR. I think this is probably going to be the last one I do. Hour 46 minutes into the stream. But I really appreciate you joining. We managed to get into one without a Magikarp, but look who is to our right. The BBW Slayer 666. My God. Imagine if they had a stream, what that would be like. That would be like BR After Dark. Not safe for work. What would you hear in the background? It might be just, they might get kicked off of YouTube. Like that might be like I don't know if Rumble does what their terms of service are, but somewhere where really anything goes. But fortunately, dear listeners, Chad Candles runs a family show, and it could well be, as Dan points out, Tommy Fleetwood's channel. I mean, what is he up? I think the Euro Tour is playing. Is Tommy Fleetwood ripping BRs when he's done with his round? I don't think you can do this from Europe, so I hope he's not VPNing in, because that would be against TOS. But I think we might need to get to the bottom of this potential scandal in the Battle Royale streets. But CMC, Derrick Henry goes. So we know JYO 20170 is a complete boomer. I bet 20170 is some kind of zip code that's really rich. 20170. I'm best zip code. Where is that? Where is that zip code? 20170 zip code. I'm guessing Herndon and Reston, Virginia, folks. That sounds fancy. That sounds fancy. Almost as fancy as taking Alvin Kamara, like we have. He goes Kyron Gibbs. Again, the 6-7 people, they just can't get enough of the double running back, allowing us to take the sun god, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So this is an exciting start. Kamara, Amon-Ra. Let's make this the best Nick Sutton team you've ever seen. So make sure we don't take David Montgomery. Make sure we don't take Taysom Hill. Just play it straight, and maybe this is the shipper. Maybe you're witnessing history. We will find out. Capisola gets Bijan at 10, which is actually pretty nice. Bijan Jefferson is a nice start. Mr. Boomer himself building that game stack. You're going to see this happen a lot. People starting Henry Pickens. It feels very sharp, and it might well be, right? If that is a bit of a back and forth affair, or if Pittsburgh gets behind, you're going to see a lot of Henry rushes combined with a lot of Pickens catch up. So don't hate that. Don't hate that. From our friend in Reston and Herndon. Let us see what we end up with here, though. Puka goes. Think if Bowers falls to me, I'll take him. If not, I'm probably just going to take Sutton. If not, I'll take Sutton and Nix, and then I will figure it out. Later. This could be an Evan Ingram team as a bring back for Amon-Ra. This could be an Njoku team as a bring back for Kamara. I said I would take Bowers. Starting to question that a little bit and think maybe we do that. One of those other. All right, see, the decision is made for us. I'm just going to take Sutton here and hope you don't, for some reason, take Nix ahead of Josh Allen. Should I be taking Josh Allen? great question. I'm not going to do that because I am hard-headed and I had a plan and I'm just going to stick to it with this draft. But couldn't fault anyone for taking Allen. I don't think BBW Slayer is going to resist Josh Allen, who has some Tommy Fleetwood in him. Yeah, Josh Allen goes. We will take Bovine Nix, and we will see what we end up with. Chat, are we thinking Njoku or are we thinking Ingram? Njoku or Ingram? Njoku. I agree, dear listener. I think that would be my preferred way to play this. And then at running back, I mean, we did pass on Joshua Allen, so maybe that is our sign that we should take James Cook to get a little piece of that game. I think he is being overlooked a bit too much here for being in a potentially pretty strong spot. We wait with bated breath. Will we get Njoku? I worry we will not. I worry that this guy with no clear quarterback is going to take his favorite tight end. He takes Goff. Well, you never know. Maybe he thought I was going to take Goff, because anytime you can take naked Goff, you got to do it. Anytime you can take naked Goff, it's essential. It's essential you pull the trigger on that play. Kind of weird. Kind of a weird pick. Again, I am not one to disparage what other people do, but it looked like you clearly were building this game stack, and then you don't take Russ, Stafford, or Geno, and the tight end, is it Brock Wright? I'm not even sure who. Oh, this guy was AFK and took 2 tight ends. Yikes. A rip. Okay, we'll take Njoku here. I'm assuming he was AFK, because this is bad. This is like pretty bad. Pretty bad. It's very rare that double tight end in this BR is what you need. BBW Slayer takes Mark Andrews, who fits right into his team. See how he finishes up. Does he take like Cooper or Shakir or someone, or does he just say he takes Garrett Wilson? And we will take James Cook. And with that, we will wrap up the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had some fun here. Hope to do this again soon. Really appreciate it. Good luck. Smash the like, subscribe, all those things that streamers say. Thanks again for stopping by, and we will see you again soon. Bye.